There you go. Does he have them up here? He does. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Everybody wants to grab a seat real quick. We'll go ahead and kick things off. Good morning. Good morning. So Caleb is out sick this morning, so you get the B team. B team's filling in this morning, so so glad to see everybody. I say that B team. Morgan's running the show. She is definitely A team. Morgan is not B team. B for there we go. There we go. All right, so I had Caleb send me over the notes here, but we have Sandi Sue presenting this morning, which we're very excited to. Sandi Sue's Bakery.
Sandi Sue's Bakery.
There we go. So we have 1 million cups here. So I'll read through real quick what the meaning of 1 million cups. Obviously, something we meet every Wednesday morning. But 1 million cups was founded on the notion that communities come together and solve problems over 1 million cups of coffee. So the coffee is free, unless. Oh, wait a second. Caleb, he said, unless you're Tom Douglas or any other New York Yankees fans, and they'll get the bill.
So you didn't have the guts to come.
Exactly. I didn't pre-read that, so that's not good on me. So anyway, but obviously the Kauffman Foundation started this, and it's been a great connector for me as an entrepreneur, getting me kind of kicked off in this world. And every week we obviously have a presentation from a local entrepreneur, so we're very excited to hear your story today from Sandi Sue's Gluten-Free Bakery.
Yes.
Go ahead. If you want to stand over here.
You don't want to see like double face here. So my name is Sandi Macklem. I'm the owner, founder of Sandi Sue's Gluten-Free Bakery, which you see my terrible picture there. I thought of a lot of ways to go through all this, but they've all evaporated from my head right now. So let's just kind of wing it. I had a 25-year career in retail. Worked for Sam's for 21 years, and then I left and pursued my passion of baking and enrolled in culinary school. I did this last year. 8 years ago, I had to go gluten-free for health reasons. Where those two paths intersect is trying to find really good gluten-free stuff where you feel like you're not missing anything. I would eat bread from the store. I would go to different places and get like a gluten-free pizza or burgers or whatever. And I always felt like I was missing something. Like the satisfaction of eating a good piece of bread just wasn't there for me. So I started experimenting a few years ago with my own baked goods, making them for myself. It got pretty good. My husband / official taste tester back there told me on a couple occasions that I should probably get into business. And I'm like, it's just a hobby, whatever. Lo and behold, that's what we did during the pandemic. We started a business. So my goal in this is to bring good gluten-free products to the gluten-free community, celiac community, so you don't feel like you're missing something. Right now, I've partnered with B-List Burgers in Bella Vista. They are my first wholesale purchaser, and they serve my gluten-free buns there. They just started that last week. We just signed a lease on a brick and mortar space at 8th Street Market. That'll be a dedicated gluten-free bakery, which is pretty freaking awesome. And scary as crap, I'm not gonna lie. We should be opening that. I've had a couple of questions already. We should be opening that at the end of September. The goal is, as always, as an entrepreneur, is to build a sustainable business. I want to make sure I'm here for all of our gluten-free community members, and even the non-gluten-free community members, because it's still good regardless. Be a little cocky there, it's okay. And two, the second goal is to get my product into the community by supporting other local businesses. There's a lack of good, like I said before, there's a lack of good gluten-free products. Just if you go out to a restaurant or whatever, it's really hard to find something that's good. I see a lot of people nodding their heads, so I think there's a lot of other gluten-free people here. And it's just really hard. So this will be a way for me to serve the community in two ways. Be able to serve our local entrepreneur, small business community by providing them a good option, and to get the product out for gluten-free people so they don't feel like they're missing something. So I think that's like a lot shorter than 10 minutes. I'm sorry, but it's kind of in a nutshell. I was going to start with sales because, I mean, being retail, you're conditioned to start with sales at some point. But since we've only been in business, literally it'll be 1 year from our first order on Sunday, I think, Sunday or Monday. So we don't have any year-over-year sales, so we're not going to compare that. So I don't want to start with that, but I figured I would at least give you guys an idea of the mission and everything. I do specialize in all kinds of gluten-free products, pies, cakes, baked goods, so breads, pizza crusts, hamburger buns, like I said. I can do almost anything. So, there you go.
Nice.
Yes.
Any questions?
I'm going to get out of the way of that
No,
because
no.
it's a little weird. Yes, ma'am.
Very excited. All things baked goods. With your shop at the 8th Street Market, will you be open like breakfast and lunch? Will it be cafe or just baked goods? Will it have like sandwiches? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So-
You might still be developing.
We're still developing. So one thing we do have that is absolutely on the menu, based on popular demand from my current customer base, is donuts. So we will have gluten-free donuts on Saturday. We'll have donut Saturdays. I see you over there. You're like, yes, I'm coming. So we'll have gluten-free donuts on Saturdays. Other than that, the menu's still up in the air. Primarily, though, the hours are going to be, we'll have a selection of sweet and savory baked goods in the morning for people to take and go with. We'll also have coffee. It's kind of a funny story behind that, but anyway. We'll have coffee too. And we'll be open probably mostly in the morning until about 2 in the afternoon. And what I'm going to ask my customers to do is if you need like baguettes or a sourdough loaf or something like that, to place an order on my website here, and then we can have that ready and have pickup times for that kind of product in the afternoon. So no, I don't. Since this is a very new venture for us, we don't want to go too crazy with the menu and kind of get overwhelmed. So we're working on narrowing everything down and keeping it pretty short and simple at this point. And then we can expand as we grow. Yes, sir.
Two questions. The
Yes.
chicken income. And then secondly, does your background in retail help you with how you can distribute this out beyond what you're trying to do? Just curious, like, how do you see that?
I
Is there a
see it.
correlation there?
So first question, Sandy Sue is actually, my name is Sandy, but Sandy Sue is actually my nickname from my other half here. My family's from Detroit originally. So he teases me that if I was actually like born and raised in the South, my name would be Sandy Sue and not Sandra Lynn, whatever. So that's how that came into effect. The second part though of your question, I think the retail plays a large part. Oh, sorry, I keep moving out of the frame. I can't. It's hard for me to stand, especially after a couple of cups. Stand still after a couple of cups of coffee. Plus, I can't hear. So the retail helped a lot. Learning. So when I worked for Sam's, I started as a cashier in college, and then worked my way through management. And then when I left the company, I was a buyer in electronics. So seeing having the experience of running a $100 million club, or part of the team that runs a $100 million club, and knowing all the aspects of it gives me an ability to see not only like a large picture, how I want the business to trend out and the plan, but also all the little weird steps to get there. So the retail part I'm very comfortable with. It's just I think even now it's still, is there a need for the product, and will it be successful? Yes, I heard that. Thank you. And will it be successful? I mean, because even the best laid plans go awry, so it's always a gamble. But I think with the retail background, in knowing the ebbs and flows of business, that's what I've noticed the most. It kind of prepares me to, like, during the new year, new you type time frame, people aren't buying baked goods. They're buying lettuce and stuff. So knowing that, I prepared myself and didn't have a freak out moment like, oh my God, nobody's buying my stuff and I like it. That part has helped a lot. I hope that kind of sort of answered your question.
Where's your kitchen?
Pardon?
Where do you bake?
I bake at my home right now, and it's a dedicated, at least for another couple of weeks, it's a dedicated gluten-free facility, just because I'm also gluten-free. I'm really sensitive. I have a lot of clients who are celiac, and I've never heard of them having any problems with my product. They all are repeat buyers. So, yes, sir.
First, a comment. Thank you for going for donuts on Saturday.
You're welcome.
That's sort of the holy grail of free will.
There's a lot that's donuts are definitely the one that I get requests for a lot. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Let's see. Question for you on your flour blend. You have a special flour blend. Is that a potential product?
No, it's not. And the reason is that one of the complicating, and I'm going to try to say this and not get too far in the weeds, because I could probably get a little technical about it, but any kind of flour, like wheat flour or whatever, we'll go with wheat just because it's easy and I know the numbers off the top of my head. Like, you've got different kinds. Like, if you ever looked in the grocery store, you've got like bread flour, AP flour, and pastry flour. Your pastry flour has a low protein content, and AP kind of middle of the road, like 11 to 13, and then your bread flour is a higher protein content. With gluten-free baking, though, you have to, depending on what your baked good is, you have to kind of learn and manipulate all the different flours that you can possibly use. It's not as easy as just one flour. So, for example, for my sourdough bread, I use a combination of potato starch, tapioca starch, sorghum, and oat flour. And that creates the necessary chew and texture of the bread. For cinnamon rolls, however, it's primarily tapioca starch and brown rice flour. And because you don't want all that protein in there, since it's a tender baked good. So, short answer to your question, besides a long answer, no, because every product requires a different blend. It's not just a one size fits all. So, yes, sir.
What are you doing to get the word out about the bakery and the gluten-free goodies?
The gluten-free goodies. I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I've worked with Rejoicey. Right now, I've been at the Rogers Farmers Market and the Fayetteville Farmers Market most of the summer. Friday is actually our last day at the Fayetteville Farmers Market, and then we'll focus on the shop. Tell my customers there. Word of mouth is a great thing. Jeff Wetzel, the chef at Belis Burgers, he put a post on Facebook that we're partnering together with Gluten-Free Buns. and he had like 12,000 hits on that post. And in the last week or so, I've gained probably about 100 or so new followers to my page, which is like ridiculous. So yeah, it's primarily word of mouth, which personally I like, because if you trust the voice that it's coming from telling you that it's good, a good product, you're more apt to go get it. Whereas if you advertise and it's like, I don't know, nobody said anything. I mean, the first thing I do when I look at a new place is look at all the reviews. So it just kind of, so I'm good with the word of mouth. I feel like there's more trust involved.
Congrats on the followers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Influencer.
I try. I really don't post a lot, which is kind of funny because I'm like, oh yeah, social media. I've got to do that. I'd rather focus on the baking and not so much the social media. But whatever. I gotta do something somehow. So yes, ma'am.
So is everything you do just gluten-free, or do you have any vegan options?
There's a couple of vegan options. I do custom stuff. For example, the sourdough, the cinnamon rolls can be made vegan.
That's tricky.
It is. It's especially with gluten-free, because you rely on, I think because gluten-free flour has a really low protein content, so you need something to hold it together. But there are a few things that I do make. I do have some dairy-free options that I do also, and that's all by custom order. It's not something that I would continuously carry. So, but yeah, I do. Yes, ma'am.
The only other gluten-free bakery on the certain side is just blocks away from your new location.
Is Molly?
Yeah,
Ollie makes. Yep.
Ollie makes. So why did you decide Bentonville and not maybe one of the other less gluten-free penetrated markets, and or how would you differentiate your offerings from their existing?
From Ollie. That's a good question. So Molly works a lot with the sweet side. She's got a lot of sweet products. If you haven't been in there and you're gluten-free, her scones are like freaking to die for, like especially the Sgt. Pepper one. Holy crap. I can't even compete with it. So I don't even try. So you won't see scones on my menu. But she does a lot of sweet stuff. I tend to veer a little bit more towards the savory and the bread. I make a gluten-free baguette, a gluten-free sourdough, a couple of different breads, the Hamburger Buns. I make these really good little cheesy poof things. And if you are old enough and hear Cartman in your head, it's not an accident. But they're just like, if you've ever had Brazilian cheese rolls, they're like that. Only I make just random different flavors, whatever I feel like doing. So there's a complementary product base there. So, and I'm really not, since we don't serve the same thing, I'm not horribly worried about that. And from retail, I like competition, and I find it very inspiring to see what other people are doing and how can I make those adjustments in my business. So I'm not worried about that. And then why Bentonville? Frankly, A Street Market had the space. I didn't have to buy equipment; it was already there, and the rent was good. So, and it's kind of off the freeway, not too far off the freeway. It's a fairly easy location to get to, so people from Rogers or Fayetteville or whatever can get there fairly easily, I think. So they don't have to go too far into downtown.
So Martha says hello from South Dakota. Congrats on the 8th Street.
Oh, thank you. I was hoping she was here. I was hoping she'd take her vacation though.
Yeah.
She was really looking forward to that. Yes, ma'am.
What's the first product you like perfected or wanted to spark? Was there something that you were missing that kind of substitute for this?
Yeah, dough. That's actually it. A lot of gluten-free pizza dough. I'm not a fan of the thin crust. And my gluten-free pizza dough is like the thin cracker, you know? Yeah, I'm from Detroit. I like the thick crust, you know? And I couldn't find it, and it annoyed me. Just really annoyed me. And that's what I really felt like I was missing. So that was something I worked on a lot. So my pizza dough weasel is refrigerated to raw dough, so people can take that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Taylor's taking it for a test run. I still have pictures on my phone, actually. I post them every once in a while. But it's a yeast-based dough, so you get the rise and the chew, which is unlike pretty much any other great pizza dough, which is nice. And it comes raw, so you can roll it out however favorite when you want it, and put toppings on it, and put it in the oven. I keep moving out of the shot. You're probably annoyed at
Here's my.
because I keep walking around. Yes, sir.
Out of curiosity, are you finding that the need for gluten-free,
Yes.
is there a demographics that you see that rises out of greater?
Not really. I would have thought that yes, there would have been a demographic in that perspective. But I'm finding that no, a lot of people, there's people who have gluten sensitivities, gluten intolerant, whatever, celiac, that they just want good product. And when you offer good product, and when you have the word of mouth that, hey, this person is doing something really good here, they're more apt to try it. And I think that transcends demographics. I would have thought, to be completely honest, and I'm probably getting myself in trouble here, but I would have thought it would have been more
40 plus.
40 plus white people who have a little bit more disposable income. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. And in thinking about that, I purposely tried to organize my pricing structure, my cost structure, where I can get, and maybe it comes back to my Sam's background, I don't know, where I can get the most bang out of my buck and offer the best prices for the customer. So I'm finding that as word gets out, that demographic where it did start, where I thought it would, is slowly moving towards everybody, which is fantastic, which is exactly what I want. So, yes, ma'am.
And don't you find that in today's world, parents have a lot of children who need to eat gluten-free.
Yes.
It's really train them up that they have an allergy, so that's hard for them to cook. And then this way, you're enabling them to have a gluten-free, maybe family little dinner that tastes good, and they don't have to cook for two different types.
Yes, absolutely. I've actually got a friend that two of her kids have celiac, and buy cookies for me, and whenever I'm at the farmer's market, they'll stop by. So yeah, and I've noticed that a lot doing the farmer's market. You just get that face-to-face interaction with people and learn their story is really kind of cool. And it's something I missed going corporate when I was in the club. Anyway, but there is a lot of people. There's a lot of new diagnosis of celiac or gluten sensitivities, and that's a whole other conversation that I'm not going to get into unless somebody asks. That's opening a whole new world, and being able, just seeing how it's the taste profile of gluten-free stuff has progressed in the last few years is great, and the variety. but there's still so much missing. And being able to be a small business entrepreneur that's providing these goods and having the face-to-face interaction and learning about the people, I think just makes us better, honestly, and it gets the product to who it needs to. So, but yeah, there's a lot of kids.
Congratulations, I mean, hamburger buns and pizza.
I know. I got the kids covered, right? I just need to like figure out like dry pasta.
I was gonna say pasta.
I just need to figure out dry pasta and I'll be good. Yeah. There was, yes, sir.
I was just gonna say this, and I don't push back, thoughtlessly,
No, you're fine.
but more of encouragement. I've been doing this diet for about 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So before it was cool, like back when it was weird.
That's still
And it
kind of
was all-
weird.
Well, I am weird for a lot of reasons, but it's, everybody kind of gets it now, whereas before you have to explain it.
Mhm.
The flour was like sawdust. But like I said, just more for some friendly encouragement. Having seen that, I would love to be able to buy a specialized flour
For the baking.
sweet rolls or for
Okay.
pizza, because all we really get is like I use cup and cup,
Yeah, I'm
which
not.
is great,
Yeah.
but it's not specialized. So I would be happy to pay a premium for a sweet roll or waffle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
okay.
just a thought.
All right. Maybe in the future you'll see that. I think I just spilled coffee on it. Sorry. Random thoughts from my brain after coffee. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just more comment on your influencer marketing using the chef like that, or even doing that. It's a really powerful way for influencer marketing for you.
Mhm.
It does not word of mouth, and I work in marketing guys, so like the health and wellness groups, there's some of the most loyal in that group, and they'll follow their influencers. And maybe for you in that cadence that you were talking about different times of the year, that might be the time to strategically deploy those assets right then to
Yes.
pump up your business at that time, because those groups are so loyal.
Yeah, that you're probably you're right. Yeah, you're right. And
So
I
you're doing a lot of marketing yourself.
I do, and I do a lot of marketing myself,
Which is
but
not your purpose necessarily, right?
it's not, and it's certainly not what I have a background in. So it's foreign territory for me, and I'm learning things as I go, essentially. But that's a great point. I'll have to.
Those people that are those influencers like that, that's something that I'll do the next way at it.
Yeah.
Looking for great products like yours to do that, because that just helps them as well.
Okay. I'll have
And that
to.
might be a low period in their business too, so like help them too.
That's good. Good call. Thank you. I'll get back in. Oh, you keep moving me. I feel
You're good.
terrible. I keep wandering around.
So good.
You're doing a great job.
Hey,
too.
thank you. Thank you. Last minute fill in. So our last, now that everybody's extremely hungry, what is our last question that we always ask is, how can we as a community support you and your business?
The biggest thing is word of mouth. Come by, follow me on social media, follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I will be posting more about the grand opening in the coming days. I actually have a picture I need to post this week at some point. Come out and see us and try it for yourself. And if it's good, tell other people. That's the best. That's the best thing for a small business in the community. Is just tell people you like it. And if you don't like it, please tell me first so I can fix that. But that's really it. I just want to make good food for everybody, whether you're gluten free or not. Honestly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
presenting.
you. No problem.
So we do have a gift for you, a 1 Million Cups cup.
Yay! More
And
coffee cups.
also,
Woo!
we'll ask do you have a question maybe that we can give to somebody who is paying attention to your presentation? Is there
Oh.
something that maybe you brought out that we can raise your hand if you know the answer?
Oh goodness, that's interesting.
Didn't prep you for that, sorry.
No, you did not. I talked about all kinds of things too.
Good.
What is your pizza dough flour blend?
Goodness.
That one did not, but what flour is in the cinnamon rolls? That one I did say.
Oh.
There was brown rice and tapioca. You guys both had it.
We'll give. Okay. Who was it? Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. So thank you guys so much for coming out today, and obviously support Sandy Sue and order through Rejoicey as well. We're just
Yep.
connecting people, every week. So thank you guys so much for attending. Any announcements from the Startup Junkie crew? Anything at all? Okay. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys so much, and we will. Oh, yes, sir.
There's some marketing training on tomorrow at 9 a.m. So we'll share the link through our Rejoicey social media channel. So it's really for any small business just trying to figure out some of the basics of marketing, social media, how to engage with their customers. So
Absolutely. That's awesome. And for those on the live, we will post that link. We'll just make sure to get the link out there to everybody for tomorrow morning, correct? 9 a.m.? Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, folks. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.